Today I wanted to talk a bit more about content creation. And this was the very first vlog thing we did, right? Was content creation and getting into it and whatever. But I thought it would be fun to kind of talk about the the hard parts of it and like the good parts of it, right? So a little bit of both, because it doesn't get talked about as much. So as far as like let's start hard and finish good, right? That makes sense in my head. A lot of people think the hard stuff is like coming up with content ideas. All day I can do that. Now I understand for some people that's kind of like a struggle. It's just like, oh, what video should I make next, and how can I make it better and whatever. That's to me pretty simple. Like there's especially in the board game space, like you can just make board game playthrough videos all day, every day. And now, to be fair, that probably won't do great. Like, it won't do bad, but it won't do great, generally speaking. Unless you have a really crazy wide variety or you're doing something really interesting or really different. Like, it's just, generally speaking, they don't seem to do as well as other stuff, which is fine. But anyway, that's always something you could do. Talking about games is always something you can do, right? Reviews, previews, the general stuff. Some people do some interesting things out there and all that fun stuff, whatever. That's easy. That's easy. The hard stuff is kind of just like getting your message out there and reading trend lines in games. So all my Marvel Champion stuff is okay. So like, let's be honest about my channel for a second. So I used to get about like 200 subscribers a month, right, on the YouTube channel, and now it's like 80, which isn't great. um, and I think there's several reasons for it. One is that I'm not posting as much content as I used to. Two, I'm doing like this vlog thing. I'm doing other things that kind of like dilutes the content. So you might be subscribing and be like, "Oh, I'm here for Marvel Champions," and then it's like not Marvel Champions that shows up, and you're like, "Well, why am I doing this?" Right? Shorts used to get you crazy amounts of subscribers all the time, and it still does well, but not as well, right? So there's things like that. There's a ton of different things. I also think a part of it is because Marvel Champions, it's not that it's dying, it's that the audience base is not growing as much, which makes sense. Like during the X-Men years, like everybody was joining on this game. Right now, like Agents of Shield, like even if you like Shield stuff, it's probably not growing the game at that rate, right? You see more and more people selling off their content, people fall out. Generally speaking, for live streaming in particular, but also for your regular audience, it's like every year you lose about 50% of your engaged audience. Like they may be still subscribed to the channel, they may still follow me on Twitch or whatever, but they're not like engaged anymore. So you have to outpace that drop off rate. And generally speaking, I've actually kind of done that, which is shocking to me. And there's people that have been with me since the beginning, which is even more shocking. It makes me even more thankful. Um, but yeah, it's this constant game where it's like, okay, even if I do like a bit better, it's not like enough, right? Like you need to do even better than better before because you have to be outpacing that drop off. And that's one of the harder things. And I think a lot of content creators, after doing this for like a year or 2 years, and they're like, why are my numbers like stagnant? It's because, yeah, you're getting more people, but people are dropping off too. And it's a really delicate balance. It's a really hard thing to balance. I think people struggle with it. I struggle with it too. So it's really, really tough. So you can try different things and whatnot. But I do think a part of it is Marvel Champions. Again, I want to be like, it's dying. It's not dying. But I do think it's doing the same exact thing where its pace of growth isn't outpacing the people dropping off of the game. So I think we'll continue to see that until like a really interesting wave comes through, maybe Daredevil, Fantastic Four, something like that. Then we'll probably see a pickup in pace, but who knows? We'll see how this legacy and current environment thing go because I'm a little skeptical about that. But I've been wrong about things in the past, so maybe I'm wrong again. So we'll see how that goes too. But anyway, so it forces me as a content creator to go, okay, I can see the trend lines, I can see what's going on. Let me maybe pivot to a different game, right? And then when do you make that switch? Do you make that switch? Do you try to do two things at the same exact time, which is doable? But is that what you try to do? Like, it's really, really weird, I think, and really hard. Because, like, for example, I really love Ashes Reborn. Do I make a pivot to that? I don't know. I don't know if the audience is there. I don't know if it's really worth it per se. But I love the game. It's really, really fun. My Final Girl stuff does really well too. So do I just pivot to that? Because that has like a really dedicated fan base. I don't know. I don't know. We used to do Arkham stuff on here and Lord of the Rings, and maybe we get back into that stuff because that has dedicated fan bases. Marvel Champions will always have a dedicated fan base too. It's just like, it's going like this, and maybe it's like this, right? Like it just like levels off. Same with Legendary, right? I think when the second edition of Legendary comes out, or DC Legendary, I think will be huge when it comes out. So getting in on that, like things like that. Those are the things that as a content creator you have to always kind of be on the lookout. And you can early on, if you want, just do a bunch of different things. Your growth curve will just be slower, and you're gonna have like wild ups and downs, which is fine, right? Like it's not like a big deal. But anyway, that's been the interesting thing. So the strategy of this channel from the beginning to now has always been to try to get people to be interested in me as the content and not like the game itself as the content, which has been a mixed bag, right? Like the live stream community, I think, has been very much like, yeah, we're like at least 50-60% of the people are like, yeah, we're not really here for the game per se. We're here for you and just like hang out and have a good time and whatever, community build. And the other half, or 40%, is just like I want to see the game, which is fine, right? It's fine. But it's just like trying to balance that all out, which is interesting. So I think that's the hardest thing as a content creator is just reading those tea leaves. And if you are a full time content creator in the board game space, just doing like previews and stuff, that's really hard too, because basically you're trying to get good views on videos that like probably just aren't gonna get them, right? Like maybe the reviews will work as evergreen content if the game like pops off and becomes like a big thing, then maybe that works really well. But you figure at least half the content you're making is just like hopefully this game does well, or like you're really just doing it to fill out a sponsorship deal, which is like the main money maker in this space is sponsorship deals. Because a lot of people don't like just watching people play board games, which makes sense. The discussion videos about board games always do better, generally speaking. And it's something I need to get better at. Is I think that type of content would do really well, and I need to just do it. I'm really bad at it. I'm really bad at it. Like I'm just not good at finding either news or what. Like or I should say I'm inconsistent with it. Slash bad. um, so that's one of the harder things too, and that's really rough. And again, something you just get better at. So then last thing is dealing, like I kind of alluded to this already, dealing like with the ups and downs of content creation. Like when things are going well and going great, it feels amazing to create content. But the hard part is when things aren't going well. Do you stick with it? Do you change your plan? Like how do you approach it? Whatever. Like you start questioning things. It's mentally taxing. And I think if you're going to be a content creator, you have to be prepared for those ups and downs. It's really really tough, and I can't tell you how to like get over it or just deal with it or whatever, or mentally, whatever, because you have to kind of do it and like figure out your best way of doing it. So anyway, that's that. So good side of making content, the really cool side of making content, I should say, is that we've been fortunate enough here to grow a really strong community, which is really amazing. I didn't really think it would be like this. Um, I just didn't think it would be like this, and it's really really cool. Like I've met and talked to a lot of people that I would have never talked to that are like super awesome and cool, and it just really neat. It's really interesting to see. So that's fantastic, and I think just being able to push myself further in content creation that I didn't really think I could do a lot of things I am doing is really cool. Getting to the point where, like I said, for this vlog thing, like taking risks on the channel, which this thing is like weirdly doing well. Like I said, more people on almost every single video. The only one you all really didn't like was things I love about board games, which was ironic, I guess. I got 3 times the amount of views on things I hate about board games. But anyway, that's just fun thing. Um, but like this was kind of like a risk, and like it's been embraced. Like it does better than my gameplay footage, which is to just show you how not great gameplay footage can be, right? Like it's kind of wild. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the fun thing. And I think for me, content creation, like I know like I would love to do this full time. It's probably never going to happen in the board game space at this point. There's just certain things like I couldn't predict to happen that have happened, and it just doesn't. it's just not worth it. The board game space isn't, I don't think, prepared to handle content creators like just creating content. Like you truly have to just be like a Kickstarter preview salesperson. And if Kickstarter falls through, like I still believe there's a weird bubble with Kickstarter, and if that falls through, like there's gonna be a lot of board game content creators out of work, because that's just a bubble waiting to happen. So anyway, it probably won't happen in that sense, but like it's not one of those things like I'm upset about or mad about or whatever, because I have gained so many skills that I haven't had, that like there's now a new career path for me in the future that I didn't ever see happening, and the only reason that is able to open up to me is because of doing stuff like this, right? Because of learning how to edit these things, shoot these different types of videos, understanding sound balancing, audio balancing and visual balancing, white balance, whatever, right? Just I'm throwing words out there to make it sound fancier, but just understanding like the basic and intermediate things. I'm not a professional by any means, but I can get by with basic and intermediate skills. So without that stuff, I really just I just don't think this channel would have been what it is today. And again, this channel would actually probably do better if it was more focused. And like I said, instead of doing vlogs, instead of doing other things, it, I guess algorithmically, it would probably do better if I created a separate D20 channel to do like the vlogs and stuff, and then like with the gameplay and the reviews and whatever. I don't want to start from scratch. I had a separate channel for video games. It just wasn't worth it. Video game playthroughs is a really weird space to crack into too. And just, I don't think my heart was in it. So it just wasn't really worth doing. But anyway, it's just the skill set you get is kind of crazy. And I think it makes me, like I said, better, not a better person, but like just better at doing things. And again, opening up career opportunities I didn't think would be there that could now possibly be there. And that's a whole discussion for another time. I know I'm being vague, but there's reasons for that, but we'll get on. So yeah, and I don't know, just the freedom to create content however you want and get paid for it, right? Like again, we've talked about this. It's not like crazy amounts of money, but it's certainly money. It certainly pays for the vast majority of my board game. Actually, pays for my board game hobby pretty much at this point. Um, Being able to do that, like that's not many people that can say that, and that's pretty cool, right? That honestly, that's really really cool. I have a bad tendency now and again to like look at other content creators who are smaller or bigger or whatever, and they can do like these crazy things because they've done a better job at networking or something like that, or just more skillful or better at editing. Let's say TikToks or Reels, Shorts, whatever it may be, and you get trapped in this like, oh, why not me? But then you look back and you realize what you've done. You're like, no, okay, we're good, right? So it's really cool to reflect on. And this is why I always encourage people, if you're slightly interested in content creation, go for it. Again, I wasn't an expert, still not an expert to this day, just a guy kind of figuring it out. I was really fortunate that early on, Nelson and I Nelson started a little bit before me, but for the most part, we started pretty much around the same exact time because I would go on his channel all the time. And it was really nice because we were able to kind of like learn off of each other, and share secrets, I guess. Not really secrets, be like, hey, this works, this doesn't work, blah, 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 whatever. And I think our channels have really diverged two different paths, which is really cool to see, and just how things have changed. So it's cool. All right. It's really, really cool. So this is why I encourage people, if you're slightly interested, do it. There's going to be challenges that I've outlined, but there's a lot of pluses. There's a lot of cool things. Is the amount of work you do going to be like comparable to the amount of pay you get? Probably not. Like you're going to do a lot more work than you are pay wise. Like that's just what it is. Especially early on. Later on, it gets better, but it's never great. But that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm really truly thankful for the amount that I do make off of this, the opportunities I have from this, the different things I've been able to do. So because of all that, it's been really great and really fascinating. Um, so yeah, that's really just it. Just understanding the pros and cons, I guess, of content creation. Some of the good things and bad things, and just a friendly reminder again, like if you're interested, do it. I'm more than happy to help you. But if you're interested, do it. Anyway, thanks for watching all these vlogs. Appreciate it. Hit like, subscribe. That stuff really, like, I know I always like do a throwaway of like, make sure to like and subscribe. Turns out liking is like an an algorithm change recently, so like it really helps out. So like, even if you just like go through the videos and like things if you haven't done it yet, please. It just helps out. I appreciate it. See you all next time.